Rise of the Human Alliance. The stars had always called to humanity, a siren song of endless possibilities and untold wonders. For centuries, humans gazed up at the night sky, dreaming of the day they would break free from the bonds of Earth and venture into the cosmic ocean. That day finally arrived in the year 2157, when Dr. Amelia Chen unveiled the revolutionary quantum fold drive. The QF drive, as it came to be known, allowed humanity to bend the fabric of space-time itself, crossing vast interstellar distances in the blink of an eye. With this groundbreaking technology, the solar system suddenly seemed small, and the galaxy beckoned with open arms. As humanity took its first tentative steps beyond the confines of its home system, they discovered a universe teeming with life. Alien civilizations, both primitive and advanced, populated the stars. Some welcomed the newcomers with open arms, eager to share knowledge and culture. Others viewed humanity with suspicion, wary of the rapid advancements that had propelled Earth to the galactic stage in mere decades. Among the stars, humanity found both friends and foes. The Arcturians, a race of crystalline beings with a deep connection to the fundamental forces of the universe, became steadfast allies. Their mastery of energy manipulation complemented humanity's innovative spirit, leading to unprecedented technological leaps. The Zefkar, highly intelligent, cephalopod-like creatures, offered their vast libraries of knowledge to Earth in exchange for human art and music. They found the chaotic beauty of human creativity endlessly fascinating, a stark contrast to their own logical and orderly society. But not all encounters were peaceful. The Drachmor Imperium, a warlike race of reptilian humanoids, saw humanity as a threat to their dominion over a significant portion of the galaxy. Skirmishes along the borders of human space became commonplace, each confrontation a test of human ingenuity against Drachmor brutality. In response to these challenges, the nations of Earth came together to form the Human Alliance, a unified government tasked with guiding humanity's expansion into the stars and protecting Earth's interests. At the helm of this new alliance stood Admiral Zara Vega, a brilliant strategist with a reputation for thinking outside the box. Vega knew that humanity's survival in this vast and often hostile galaxy depended on more than just military might. She initiated the Starburst Protocol, a multifaceted approach to ensure humanity's place among the stars. The first pillar of the Starburst Protocol was diplomacy. Ambassador Kai Tanaka, a charismatic and empathetic individual, was dispatched to forge alliances with other spacefaring races. His efforts bore fruit, creating a network of trade agreements and mutual defense pacts that strengthened humanity's position. The second pillar was technological advancement. Dr. Chen, the inventor of the QF drive, was given carte blanche to push the boundaries of science. Her team of brilliant minds worked tirelessly, producing innovations that would reshape the galaxy. From advanced AI systems to nanomaterial fabrication, humanity's tech sector exploded with creativity. The third and final pillar was military preparedness. While Vega hoped for peace, she knew the importance of being ready for war. Thus, Project Aegis was born, a top-secret initiative to create a fleet of supercarriers unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. These mammoth vessels, each the size of a small moon, were more than just warships. They were mobile cities, capable of supporting entire populations for years without resupply. Equipped with the most advanced weaponry and defenses humanity could devise, a single Aegis-class carrier could stand toe-to-toe with an entire alien battle fleet. The existence of these supercarriers was humanity's ace in the hole, a deterrent against those who would threaten Earth and its colonies. Only a handful of individuals knew of their existence, the secret guarded more closely than any other in human history. As the Human Alliance expanded, establishing colonies on distant worlds and mining asteroid belts for resources, tensions in the galaxy continued to rise. The Drachmor Imperium grew increasingly aggressive, launching probing attacks against human outposts and harassing merchant vessels. Admiral Vega knew it was only a matter of time before full-scale war erupted. She ordered the acceleration of Project Aegis, pushing the shipyards hidden in the outer reaches of the solar system to their limits. Unbeknownst to humanity, their rapid ascension and mysterious technological leaps had not gone unnoticed by the galaxy's oldest and most powerful civilization, the Eternals. This ancient race, led by the enigmatic Empress Thihalamana, had guided the evolution of countless species over millions of years. The Eternals saw themselves as shepherds of the galaxy, maintaining a delicate balance of power to prevent any one race from dominating the others. Humanity's meteoric rise threatened this balance, and Empress Thihalamana was not pleased. As Admiral Vega oversaw the final preparations for the Aegis fleet, and Ambassador Tanaka worked to solidify alliances with other races, a storm was brewing. The Eternals were mobilizing, preparing to put humanity in its place and restore the status quo they had maintained for eons. Little did they know that humanity, with its boundless creativity, unbreakable spirit, and hidden fleet of supercarriers, was about to change the face of the galaxy forever. The stage was set for a confrontation that would determine the fate of not just humanity, but all sentient life in the Milky Way. As the first Aegis-class carrier, the USS Defiant prepared for its maiden voyage, Admiral Vega stood on the bridge, gazing out at the stars. She knew that the choices made in the coming days would echo through history. With a deep breath, she gave the order to activate the quantum fold drive. In a flash of blinding light, the Defiant vanished from the solar system, ready to face whatever challenges awaited humanity among the stars. The next chapter in human history was about to unfold, and the galaxy would never be the same again. The alien Empress's ultimatum. The Eternal Palace, seat of power for the galaxy's oldest civilization, was a marvel of engineering and artistry. Carved from a single massive crystal, it floated serenely in the void, its facets reflecting the light of 1,000 stars. Within its grand halls, Empress Thihalamana, ruler of the Eternals, sat upon her iridescent throne, her expression a mask of cold fury. Before her stood her most trusted advisors, each a member of a different spacefaring race. They shifted uncomfortably under her piercing gaze, aware of the storm brewing within their Empress. "How?" Thihalamana's voice was soft, yet it carried an undercurrent of rage that made her advisors flinch. "How has this upstart race advanced so quickly? We have guided the evolution of countless species for millions of years, yet none have progressed as rapidly as these, humans." Zarthol, a Zefkar representative, floated forward, his tentacles rippling with nervous energy. "Empress, our analysis suggests that human creativity and adaptability are unparalleled. They possess an innate ability to think laterally, to combine ideas in ways we've never seen before. It's as if their entire species is in a constant state of intellectual ferment." The Empress's eyes narrowed. "And what are their military capabilities?" "Our observers report significant activity in their outer system." An Arcturian stepped forward, its crystalline body pulsing with soft light. "We have detected unusual energy signatures, Your Majesty. They suggest the humans are constructing vessels of unprecedented size and power. However, the exact nature of these ships remains a mystery." Thihalamana rose from her throne, her form shimmering with barely contained energy. "This cannot be allowed to continue. For eons, we have maintained the balance of power in this galaxy. If the humans are left unchecked, they will upset everything we have worked to achieve." She turned to her advisors, her decision made. "Prepare a delegation. We will issue an ultimatum to these humans. They will submit to our guidance, or they will be crushed." As the Eternal delegation prepared for their journey, events were unfolding rapidly in human space. The USS Defiant, humanity's first Aegis-class supercarrier, had completed its shakedown cruise and was now patrolling the borders of Alliance territory. On the bridge of the Defiant, Admiral Zara Vega stood before a holographic display of the galaxy, studying the complex web of alliances and conflicts that defined interstellar politics. Her second-in-command, Captain Elena Rodriguez, approached with a concerned expression. "Admiral, we're picking up unusual activity along the Drakmor border. It looks like they're massing for a major offensive. Vega's eyes narrowed as she zoomed in on the sector in question. They're getting bolder. Have they detected the Defiant? Rodriguez shook her head. Negative, Admiral. Our stealth systems are holding. They have no idea we're here. Before Vega could respond, a priority communication came through. It was Ambassador Kai Tanaka, his usually calm demeanor replaced by visible agitation. Admiral Vega, we have a situation. A delegation from the Eternals has just arrived at Arcturus Station. They're demanding an immediate audience with the Human Alliance leadership. Vega's eyebrows shot up in surprise. The Eternals were almost mythical figures, rarely seen or heard from. For them to suddenly appear with demands was unprecedented. What do they want, Kai? Tanaka's holographic image flickered slightly. They won't say exactly, but they're using phrases like galactic stability and necessary intervention. I don't like it, Zara. They're treating us like children who need to be disciplined. Vega's jaw clenched. Understood. I'm on my way. Keep them talking, Kai. I want to know exactly what we're dealing with before I face them. As the Defiant prepared to jump to Arcturus Station, Dr. Amelia Chen burst onto the bridge, her eyes wild with excitement. Admiral, you need to see this. She pulled up a holographic display showing a strange, swirling anomaly in space. We detected this while calibrating the QF drive. It's some kind of fold-in spacitime. I think it might be an Einstein-Rosen bridge, a wormhole. Vega's eyes widened as she studied the anomaly. Is it stable? Where does it lead? Chen's fingers flew over her datapad. It appears to be stable, but as for where it leads, that's the incredible part. Our initial probes suggest it connects to the galactic core. The implications were staggering. The galactic core had always been off-limits, too dangerous to explore due to the intense radiation and gravitational forces, if humans could access it safely. But there was no time to contemplate the discovery. The Eternal delegation was waiting, and the Drakmor were mobilizing. Humanity stood on the precipice of a moment that would define its future among the stars. As the Defiant prepared to jump, Vega turned to her crew. Whatever happens next, remember this. We are not alone, but we are not subservient. Humanity has earned its place among the stars, and we will not be cowed by threats or intimidation. We come in peace, but we will defend ourselves if necessary. With a flash of light, the Defiant vanished, racing towards a confrontation that would shake the foundations of the galaxy. At Arcturus Station, the Grand Meeting Hall was filled with tension. On one side stood the Human Alliance representatives, led by the station's commander, Admiral Helena Graves. On the other, the Eternal delegation, their bodies shimmering with otherworldly energy. At the head of the Eternal group stood Axi Halamana herself, her presence filling the room with an almost palpable sense of ancient power. As Admiral Vega entered, flanked by Ambassador Tanaka and Dr. Chen, the Empress's gaze locked onto her. So, Halamana's voice echoed through the chamber. You are the leaders of this upstart race. Do you have any idea of the chaos you are sowing in our carefully balanced galaxy? Vega stepped forward, her posture straight and proud. Empress Halamana, we come in peace and with respect for your ancient civilization, but we are not children to be scolded. Humanity has earned its place among the stars through ingenuity, determination, and courage. The Empress's eyes narrowed. You speak boldly for one so young. Your race is but an infant compared to the civilizations we have guided. Your rapid advancement threatens the stability we have maintained for millions of years. She raised her hand, and a holographic image of the galaxy appeared between them. This is our ultimatum. Cease your expansion immediately. Submit to our guidance. Allow us to temper your advancement. In return, we will protect you from the dangers that lurk in the darkness between the stars. A murmur ran through the human delegation. Submit. Allow their progress to be stifled. It was unthinkable. Vega took a deep breath, knowing her next words would shape the future of humanity. Empress, with all due respect, we must decline. Humanity will not be shackled. We extend our hand in friendship and cooperation, but we will not submit to rule by any outside force. Sci-Fi expression hardened. You do not understand the forces you are dealing with, human. The galaxy is far more dangerous than you can imagine. Without our protection, you will not survive. As if on cue, alarms began blaring throughout the station. A frantic officer burst into the chamber. Multiple Drakmor battle fleets have just entered the system. They're on an attack vector. For a moment, panic threatened to overtake the human delegation, but Vega remained calm, a slight smile playing at the corners of her mouth. She turned to the Empress, her eyes blazing with determination. It seems, Your Majesty, that you're about to witness firsthand what humanity is capable of when threatened. We may be young, but we are far from defenseless. With a nod to Dr. Chen, Vega activated her comm link. This is Admiral Vega to all Aegis-class carriers. Operation Stardust is now in effect. Deploy and engage the enemy. As the massive supercarriers decloaked around Arcturus Station, their weapon systems powering up, the Eternal Delegation watched in stunned silence. The battle for humanity's future was about to begin, and the galaxy would never be the same again. Operation Stardust. The void around Arcturus Station erupted into chaos as the Human Alliance's secret weapon was finally unveiled. 5 Aegis-class supercarriers, each one a titan of advanced technology and firepower, shimmered into view as their cloaking fields disengaged. The defiant, intrepid, valiant, dauntless, and sovereign, humanity's guardians among the stars. Empress Sci-Fi's eyes widened in disbelief as she watched the massive vessels take up defensive positions around the station. Impossible, she whispered, her composure slipping for the first time in millennia. How could you have hidden such power from us? Admiral Vega stood tall, a proud smile on her face. Humanity has always been underestimated, Your Majesty. It's time the galaxy learned what we're truly capable of. Before the Empress could respond, the tactical display lit up with new contacts. The Drakmor attack fleet had arrived, their ships emerging from faster-than-light travel in a menacing formation. Hundreds of vessels, from nimble fighters to hulking dreadnoughts, bore down on Arcturus Station. Captain Rodriguez's voice crackled over the comm. Admiral, Drakmor fleet composition analyzed. They've brought enough firepower to glass a dozen worlds. Vega nodded grimly. Then it's a good thing we're not a dozen worlds. All carriers execute Operation Stardust. Show them what we can do. As the words left her mouth, the supercarriers sprang into action. The Defiant and Intrepid moved to engage the Drakmor's main fleet, while the Valiant and Dauntless took up flanking positions. The Sovereign remained close to Arcturus Station, its powerful shields extending to provide an extra layer of protection. What followed was a display of military prowess that would be remembered for generations. The Aegis carriers unleashed swarms of advanced fighter craft, their AI pilots executing maneuvers that would have been impossible for organic beings. Plasma lances and graviton beams lashed out from the carrier's main weapons, each shot precisely calculated to inflict maximum damage. The Drakmor, caught off guard by the unexpected resistance, struggled to regroup. Their ships, while numerous, were no match for the technological superiority of the Aegis fleet. One by one, Drakmor vessels winked out of existence, reduced to space debris by the relentless human assault. In the command center of Arcturus Station, the Eternal Delegation watched in stunned silence as the battle unfolded. Ambassador Tanaka seized the opportunity to address Empress Sci-Fi. Your Majesty, this conflict is unnecessary. Humanity has no desire for galactic domination. We seek only to explore, to learn, and to coexist peacefully with other races. Surely there's room in your vision of a balanced galaxy for a species that can defend itself and its allies? The Empress remained silent, her ancient eyes fixed on the tactical display. For the first time in eons, she found herself re-evaluating her assumptions. Meanwhile, Aboard the Defiant, Dr. Chen approached Admiral Vega with urgent news. "Admiral, we're detecting unusual energy readings from the Drakmor flagship. It looks like they're preparing to use some kind of superweapon." Vega's eyes narrowed. "Can we neutralize it?" Chen shook her head. "Not from this distance. We'd need to get closer, but that would put us right in the line of fire." A determined look crossed Vega's face. "Then we'll have to use their weapon against them. Captain Rodriguez, prepare for a short-range quantum fold jump. We're going to pop up right in front of their flagship." Rodriguez's eyes widened. "Admiral, the precision required for a jump like that, it's never been done." "Then we'll be the first," Vega replied firmly. "Sometimes you have to roll the hard six. Execute the jump on my mark." As the Defiant's engines powered up for the daring maneuver, the Drakmor flagship began to glow with ominous energy. A beam of blinding light shot forth, aimed directly at Arcturus Station. "Now," Vega shouted. In a heartbeat, the Defiant vanished, only to reappear directly in the path of the energy beam. The Supercarriers' advanced shields flared as they absorbed the massive energy discharge. For a moment, it seemed as if the Defiant would be overwhelmed. But then something remarkable happened. The ship's systems, guided by Dr. Chen's brilliant design, began to redirect the absorbed energy. The Defiant's own weapons powered up, fueled by the Drakmor's attack. With a burst of light that outshone nearby stars, the Defiant returned fire. A concentrated beam of energy, far more powerful than anything the carrier could have produced on its own, lanced out and struck the Drakmor flagship. The massive vessel crumpled under the assault, secondary explosions rippling along its hull as critical systems failed. As the Drakmor flagship disintegrated, the remaining enemy ships began to retreat. The battle was over almost as quickly as it had begun, with humanity emerging victorious against overwhelming odds. Back on Arcturus Station, a stunned silence had fallen over the assembled delegates. Empress Paxihalamana turned to Admiral Vega, her expression unreadable. "It seems we have gravely underestimated your species, Admiral," she said softly. Perhaps it is time for us to reevaluate our role in the galaxy." Vega nodded respectfully. "We would welcome the opportunity to work alongside the Eternals, Your Majesty. There's so much we could learn from each other." As discussions began about a new era of cooperation between humans and Eternals, Dr. Chen pulled Admiral Vega aside. "Admiral, remember the anomaly we detected before jumping to Arcturus? I've been analyzing the data, and I think I've made a breakthrough. That wormhole, I believe it's artificial." Vega's eyebrows shot up. "Artificial? You mean someone created it?" Chen nodded excitedly. "Yes, and based on the energy signatures, it wasn't the Eternals. There's another player in this game, Admiral. Someone with technology that might even surpass the Aegis carriers." As the implications of this discovery sank in, Vega realized that humanity's greatest challenges and greatest adventures still lay ahead. The galaxy was larger and more complex than they had ever imagined, filled with wonders and dangers beyond their wildest dreams. But with their ingenuity, their determination, and their newfound allies, humans were ready to face whatever the universe had in store. The age of exploration had only just begun, and humanity was poised to take its place among the stars. Battle for the Nexus. The revelation of an artificial wormhole leading to the galactic core sent shockwaves through the human alliance. As news spread, excitement and apprehension rippled through the ranks of scientists, military personnel, and civilians alike. The possibility of accessing the heart of the galaxy, a region long thought too dangerous to explore, was tantalizing, but the implications of an unknown, highly advanced civilization controlling such technology were equally daunting. Admiral Zara Vega stood before the Alliance Council, her posture rigid as she delivered her report. "Ladies and gentlemen, the discovery of this wormhole represents both an unprecedented opportunity and a potential threat. We must investigate, but we must also prepare for the possibility of encountering a civilization far more advanced than our own." the council chamber erupted into heated debate. Some argued for immediate exploration, while others advocated caution. In the end, it was Ambassador Kai Tanaka who proposed a compromise. "We shall assemble a joint expedition," he suggested, his calm voice cutting through the clamor. "Human, eternal, and representatives from our other allies. Together we will venture through the wormhole and face whatever lies beyond." The motion passed and preparations began immediately. The Defiant was chosen to lead the expedition, with Admiral Vega at the helm. Dr. Amelia Chen joined as chief scientist, her expertise in quantum physics crucial for understanding the wormhole's nature. To everyone's surprise, Empress C. Halamana herself volunteered to represent the Eternals. "In all our ends of existence," she explained, "we have never encountered such a phenomenon. It is time for the Eternals to embrace the spirit of exploration that has served humanity so well." As the day of departure approached, tension mounted. The Defiant, accompanied by an Eternal cruiser and ships from the Arcturians and Zethkar, assembled near the wormhole. The swirling vortex of space-time pulsed with ethereal energy, both beckoning and warning. Admiral Vega addressed her crew one last time before the jump. "We stand on the brink of a new era of discovery. Whatever we find on the other side of this wormhole will change the course of galactic history. Stay sharp, stay curious, and above all, stay united." With a final systems check, the expedition activated their engines and plunged into the swirling maw of the wormhole. The journey through the wormhole was unlike anything they had experienced before. Reality seemed to twist and bend around them, the laws of physics stretching to their limits. When they finally emerged on the other side, a collective gasp echoed through the ships. Before them lay a sight beyond imagination. At the heart of the galaxy, where they had expected to find a supermassive black hole, there instead floated a colossal structure. It was a vast geometric web of interconnected stations and energy conduits, pulsing with power beyond comprehension. At its center, a sphere of pure energy crackled and sparked. "By the ancestors," Empress Paxi Halamana whispered, her usual composure shaken. "What is this place?" Dr. Chen's voice crackled over the comms, filled with awe and excitement. It's some kind of nexus. A hub connecting multiple wormholes. Look." She highlighted several points on the tactical display, each showing another swirling portal similar to the one they had traversed. "This structure," Chen continued, "it's not just connecting different points in our galaxy. Some of these wormholes, they seem to lead to entirely different galaxies." The implications were staggering. This nexus was not just a gateway to the galactic core, but a transportation hub connecting multiple galaxies. The civilization that built it must possess technology and knowledge far beyond anything known to humans or Eternals. As the expedition cautiously approached the structure, automated defenses suddenly sprang to life. Energy beams lashed out, forcing the ships to take evasive action. "All ships, defensive formations," Vega ordered, her training kicking in despite the awe-inspiring surroundings. "Do not return fire unless absolutely necessary. We don't want to start an intergalactic incident." The Defiant's advanced shields held against the assault, but some of the other ships weren't so fortunate. The Zethkar vessel took a direct hit, its systems failing as it drifted powerless. Just as Vega was about to order a retreat, a new signal cut through the chaos. A face appeared on their view screens, a being unlike any they had encountered before. Its features were fluid, constantly shifting, as if struggling to settle on a form comprehensible to the viewers. "Intruders," the being spoke, its voice resonating directly in their minds. "You have entered the Nexus unbidden. State your purpose or be destroyed." Ambassador Tanaka stepped forward, his diplomatic skills facing their greatest test. "We come in peace and in the spirit of exploration. We seek knowledge and understanding, not conflict." The being seemed to consider this for a moment. "Your species are unknown to us. How did you discover the path to the Nexus?" Dr. Chen spoke up, her scientific curiosity overriding her fear. We detected the wormhole's energy signature and investigated. The structure itself, did you create it? A sound that might have been laughter echoed in their minds. Create it? No, young ones. We are its caretakers. The Nexus has existed since the dawn of the universe, a cosmic crossroads connecting all of creation. Empress Halamana's eyes widened. All this time, all the eons we thought we were shepherding the galaxy, and this was here, unknown to us. The being's form shifted again. Your presence here has activated ancient protocols. The Nexus is awakening fully for the first time in millions of years. You must prove yourselves worthy of the knowledge it contains. Suddenly, the energy at the center of the Nexus flared brightly. New wormholes began to open, and through them poured ships of designs never before seen. Defenders of the Nexus, the being explained. They will test your mettle. If you are worthy, you will be granted access to the Nexus and all the knowledge it contains. If not, the unspoken threat hung in the air as the defender ships moved into attack positions. Admiral Vega's jaw set with determination. We didn't come this far to turn back now. All ships, prepare for battle. Remember your training, remember why we're here. We're not just fighting for ourselves, but for the future of all our peoples. As energy weapons began to flash and fighter craft launched from both sides, the battle for the Nexus, and perhaps the future of the galaxy itself, began in earnest. The Defiant led the charge, its advanced technology and the skill of its crew put to the ultimate test. The Eternal Cruiser moved in perfect synchronization, millennia of experience guiding its every maneuver. The remaining Allied ships formed up, presenting a united front against the onslaught of the Nexus defenders. As the battle raged, Dr. Chen worked feverishly to decipher the Nexus's energy patterns. If they could understand its workings, perhaps they could end this conflict peacefully. But time was running out, and the fate of not just their expedition, but potentially all of known space, hung in the balance. The battle for the Nexus had begun, and its outcome would reshape the cosmos forever. The Empress's gambit. The battle for the Nexus raged on, a dazzling display of advanced technology and tactical prowess. The Defiant danced through the void, its quantum shields flickering as they absorbed hit after hit from the Nexus defenders. Admiral Vega's voice rang out over the comms, steady and determined, coordinating the Allied fleet with precision born of years of experience. Arcturian cruiser, watch your flank. Zefka squadron, focus fire on the lead defender ship. Eternal vessel, maintain your position and keep that energy barrier up. Despite their valiant efforts, the tide of battle was turning against them. The Nexus defenders seemed endless, their ships reforming almost as quickly as they were destroyed. It was a war of attrition, and the Allied fleet was losing ground. Aboard the Defiant, Dr. Amelia Chen worked feverishly, her fingers flying over holographic displays as she attempted to decipher the complex energy patterns of the Nexus. There's a pattern here, she muttered, her eyes darting back and forth. It's like the Nexus is alive, responding to our presence. Meanwhile, in the ship's medical bay, Ambassador Kai Tanaka tended to the wounded, his diplomatic skills now turned to offering comfort and hope to injured crew members. Hold on, he encouraged a young ensign with a severe plasma burn. Your courage here today will be remembered for generations to come. As the battle reached its fever pitch, Empress Halamana stood silently on the bridge of the Eternal Cruiser, her ancient eyes taking in the cosmic dance of destruction before her. In all her eons of existence, she had never witnessed such a conflict, never felt the exhilaration of being so utterly outmatched, yet fighting on regardless. It was humbling. Suddenly, her eyes widened as a realization struck her. By the first light, she whispered, I understand now. Without warning, the Empress's form began to glow, pulsing with an energy that seemed to resonate with the very fabric of space-time. She turned to her startled crew. Open a channel to all ships now. Her voice, laden with the weight of ages, rang out across the battlefield. Cease fire. All ships, cease fire immediately. For a moment, confusion reigned. Then slowly, the weapons fell silent. Even the Nexus defenders seemed to pause, as if sensing the importance of the moment. "I know what we must do," Sihalamana continued. "This is not a test of our military might. It is a test of our wisdom, our ability to see beyond conflict." With a gesture, she opened a direct channel to the enigmatic being that had first greeted them. "Guardian of the Nexus," she spoke, her voice resonating with newfound humility. "We have erred in our approach. We came seeking knowledge, yet responded with violence when challenged. On behalf of all our peoples, I apologize." The being's fluid form shimmered on the view screen, its attention fully focused on the Empress. Sihalamana continued, her voice growing stronger. "For too long, we Eternals have seen ourselves as shepherds of the galaxy, guiding younger races according to our wisdom. But today, we stand humbled before the vastness of the cosmos and the wonders it contains." She gestured towards the human ships. "These humans, whom we once saw as upstarts, have shown us the value of curiosity, of pushing boundaries. They've taught us that true wisdom lies not in preserving the status quo, but in embracing change and seeking understanding." The Empress's form began to glow brighter, her energy intertwining with the pulsing power of the Nexus. "We do not come to conquer or to plunder. We come to learn, to grow, to become part of something greater than ourselves. If the Nexus will have us, we offer not our weapons, but our minds and our hearts." As Sihalamana spoke, something extraordinary began to happen. The energy at the core of the Nexus started to resonate with her words, tendrils of power reaching out to touch each ship in the Allied fleet. Dr. Chen's voice crackled over the comms, filled with awe. "The energy patterns, they're stabilizing. It's like the Nexus is accepting us." The fluid being's form solidified slightly, taking on a more humanoid appearance. When it spoke, its voice was tinged with what might have been approval. "For countless eons, we have waited for beings worthy of the Nexus's gifts. Many have found their way here, but none has shown the wisdom to look beyond the surface, to understand the true nature of this place." It turned its gaze to Admiral Vega. "You humans, with your insatiable curiosity and adaptability." Then to Sihalamana. "You Eternals, with your deep wisdom and newfound humility." Finally, it regarded the other allied ships. "And you, representatives of so many diverse cultures, united in the pursuit of knowledge." The being spread its arms wide. "Together, you have proven yourselves worthy. The Nexus accepts you. Welcome, children of the cosmos, to the next stage of your evolution." With those words, the Nexus flared to life. Streams of energy enveloped each ship, not damaging but transforming. Knowledge poured into the minds of all present, the secrets of the universe, the nature of reality itself, the histories of countless civilizations across multiple galaxies. As the energy receded, the Allied fleet found itself transformed. Their ships had been upgraded, integrated with technology beyond their wildest dreams. But more than that, they had been changed on a fundamental level. Their consciousness expanded to encompass a greater understanding of the cosmos. Admiral Vega, her mind reeling from the influx of knowledge, turned to her crew. Her eyes shone with a new light, reflecting the vastness of the universe they had just become a part of. "My friends," she said, her voice filled with wonder, "our journey has only just begun." As the newly ascended fleet prepared to return home, carrying with them the gifts and responsibilities bestowed by the Nexus, they knew that the future of not just their own galaxy, but of all creation, had been irrevocably changed. The age of isolation was over. A new era of cosmic cooperation and exploration was about to dawn. A new era dawns. The return of the transformed fleet to known space marked the beginning of a new chapter in galactic history. As the Defiant and its allies emerged from the wormhole, they were met with a mixture of awe, fear, and anticipation. The ships, now gleaming with an otherworldly energy, bore little resemblance to the vessels that had departed mere days ago. Admiral Zara Vega stood on the bridge of the Defiant, her eyes reflecting the vastness of the knowledge she now possessed. Beside her, Dr. Amelia Chen worked tirelessly, her enhanced intellect processing complex equations that would have been incomprehensible to her former self. Ambassador Kai Tanaka, his diplomatic skills heightened to an almost supernatural degree, prepared to address the gathered representatives of 100 worlds. As news of their return spread, delegations from across the galaxy converged on Earth. The planet that had once been seen as a backwater world now stood at the center of a cosmic revolution. In a gesture of unity, the United Nations headquarters in New York was chosen as the site for the first galactic conclave. Ambassador Tanaka took the podium, his presence commanding the attention of every being in the vast assembly hall. Holographic projections allowed countless others across the galaxy to witness the historic moment. Friends, allies, fellow sentients, Tanaka began, his voice resonating with newfound power. We stand at the dawn of a new era. The gifts of the Nexus have opened our eyes to the true nature of the cosmos. We are no longer alone, no longer isolated. We are part of a vast, interconnected web of life and consciousness that spans not just our galaxy, but countless others. He gestured to the assembled delegates. The knowledge we have gained comes with great responsibility. We have seen the rise and fall of civilizations far older than our own. We have witnessed the birth of stars and the death of galaxies. And through it all, we have learned that the greatest power in the universe is not technology, not energy, but understanding. As Tanaka spoke, holographic displays came to life, showing glimpses of the wonders they had witnessed. Gasps of awe echoed through the chamber as the assembled delegates saw visions of the Nexus, of alien worlds beyond imagination, of the very fabric of reality itself. Empress Xihelamana stepped forward, her ancient form now shimmering with the energy of the Nexus. For eons, we Eternals believed it was our duty to guide the younger races, to maintain the balance of the galaxy. We were wrong. True balance comes not from control, but from cooperation, not from stagnation, but from growth. She turned to Admiral Vega, inclining her head in respect. Humanity's insatiable curiosity, their drive to explore and understand, has opened doors we never knew existed. They have taught us that there is always more to learn, always a new frontier to discover. Vega nodded, then addressed the assembly. The gifts of the Nexus are not ours to hoard. The knowledge, the technology, the understanding, these belong to all sentient beings, but they must be used wisely for the betterment of all. She activated another holographic display, showing a diagram of the Milky Way. We propose the creation of a new galactic network. Using the principles we've learned from the Nexus, we can establish instantaneous communication and transportation across our entire galaxy. No world need ever be isolated again. Dr. Chen stepped up, her eyes alight with excitement. Moreover, we've only begun to scratch the surface of what the Nexus technology can do. Clean, unlimited energy. The ability to terraform barren worlds in days rather than centuries. The power to heal injuries and cure diseases once thought incurable. The potential is limitless. As the implications of these announcements sank in, a wave of excitement swept through the assembly. Species that had been bitter enemies now saw the possibility of a shared future. Worlds that had been struggling to survive glimpsed hope for prosperity. But it was not all celebration. Some delegates voiced concerns about the rapid changes, the potential dangers of such advanced technology spreading too quickly. Others worried about the loss of individual cultural identities in the face of galactic unification. Ambassador Tanaka raised his hands, calling for calm. These are all valid concerns, and they must be addressed. We do not seek to erase what makes each of us unique. Rather, we aim to celebrate our diversity while working towards common goals. The path ahead will not be easy, but if we work together, there is nothing we cannot achieve. As the galactic conclave continued, working groups were formed to tackle the monumental tasks ahead. The integration of Nexus technology, the establishment of the galactic network, the fair distribution of resources. Each challenge was met with determination and creativity. Months turned into years, and years into decades. The face of the galaxy changed dramatically. Wormhole stations, miniature versions of the Nexus, allowed for instantaneous travel between star systems. Long-dormant worlds blossomed into life, their ecosystems carefully crafted to support diverse forms of life. The Galactic Conclave evolved into the Cosmic Union, a governing body that respected the autonomy of individual worlds while promoting cooperation on a galactic scale. Earth, once a tiny blue marble on the edge of an unremarkable spiral arm, became a shining beacon of unity and progress. But even as the Milky Way flourished, those who had been to the Nexus knew that their journey was far from over. Other galaxies awaited, other dimensions beckoned. The universe, in all its infinite wonder, continued to inspire awe and ignite the spark of exploration in the hearts of sentient beings everywhere. Admiral Vega, now significantly older but with her spirit undimmed, stood on the observation deck of humanity's Hope, Earth's first intergalactic vessel. As the ship prepared to make the landmark journey to the Andromeda Galaxy, she reflected on the incredible journey that had led to this moment. "We began as stargazers," she mused, her eyes fixed on the glittering expanse of space, creatures of dust who dared to dream of the cosmos. Now we have become part of the very fabric of the universe itself. With a smile, she gave the order to engage the drive. In a flash of light, the ship vanished, carrying with it the hopes and dreams of countless beings across the galaxy. The next chapter in the cosmic saga had begun, and the best was yet to come.